Alright, what's going on everyone, and welcome back to another video. This is the TCG-Blader, and it has been a while since my last video. But that's because it's just really hard to find things to open. However, if you didn't pay attention to the thumbnail, and the fact that the title says it all as well, yes, Palworld, the game that came out 2 years ago in early access, having its official release in July on the 10th for 1.0, the biggest update it has ever happened for it. Just has a TCG set now, which is the Dawn of Palpagos. This is the first ever TCG set they have ever released, and I managed to get a box on it before they sold out. Also, if you look up here, they misspelled it up here. It says Palworld, Palword up here, so it's a misprint essentially. They misprinted the box. So yes, I'm not going to be selling this box. So I don't have intentions on selling anything from this. I am not a scalper. I never do that. But yeah, so this is the back. So it says comes with 7 cards, 12 packs per box. So yeah, not going to get much out of it, but it's going to be awesome to open. And there are several awesome chase cards that are in here, and the one that I want to pull is this one. This is Lylene, and I do like Lylene a lot. It is a awesome pal, good for your bases and whatnot, and just generally looks very good. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's see what I can get. See if I can open it, that is. The seal is a very tight seal. Give me 1 minute. Come on. Oh, there we go. Here's your tiny little make. Think of him. Oh, maybe make it a little bit more. There we go. And box seal is off, so time to open it up. So yeah, 12 packs. Wish there was a bit more in it, but what can you do? So yeah. Ow, my leg is good. It's hurting because of the box I'm using. But yeah, let's get into it. So this is what the pack looks like. It looks like a Japanese pack. It is OCG after all, so there is that. So first pack of the day of the video. And we shall get, so we have a Tansy, the cheerful worker. So they're pals of different types. So this is a grass one. We have a viewing cage. So there's an item. So these are actually very interesting. Maybe we'll go look over what they do. So he's a normal pal, harvesting, crafting, collecting, transporting. Auto Sirius 400 on a sign, choose 1 pal and it gets up attack 400 plus until end of the turn. Okay, so the power is 200, strike is 1, and it's number 2, I think. Viewing cage. Act 1 turn, assign 1 pal, exile the assigned pal, choose 1 cost X or less pal, and exile it. X is equal to the cost of their assigned pal plus 2. When this card leaves the base, return all pals exiled by this card to the owner's hand. Okay, very interesting. So it's an item. So it's a structure of sorts. Put that up there. So we have a Celery, loop-de-loop. So on attack, draw 1 card, choose 1 card from your hand and discard it. So also a 3. So power 400, strike of 1. So yeah, so this is a very interesting, like, little set. So we have a valet. That is how it's pronounced, valet. Bewitching Bloom. Oh, it's a lucky pal. So that is awesome. So these stars represent what they are. So this is a lucky. So discard one card from hand. If you assigned this card this turn, stand this card. Okay, so it has a power of 1600, strike of 3, and it's an 8. So that's pretty cool. Now put the lucky ones over here, like that. Oh, we got another lucky pal. So we have Menace Sting, Darkness Dwelling Scorpion. Yeah, I got a hair in my mouth, sorry. So it has Retaliate. When this card is put into the graveyard during battle, put the opposing combat pal into the graveyard. And when this card is put into the graveyard, choose up to one normal pal from your graveyard and return it to the hand. So that is actually pretty cool for your graveyard plays, I think. 700 and strike of 2. We have Univolt, Valiant Thunderclap, so that's actually pretty cool. Brave 300, on attack this card gets plus 300 until the end of the turn. 600 power, strike of 2. And, ooh, that's a pretty cool. So it's a Azure Robe, Dragon Waltz, that's a lucky. On deploy, draw one card, choose up to one pal, and rest it. So, I'm not sure how you can tell about the rarities. It doesn't specify where it says. Down the bottom, there's a tiny little thing down the bottom. So yeah, this is a rare. So we've got uncommons, and we've got commons, and we've got rares, and we've got double rares, I think. So yeah, so that will be those cards. So the next pack shall have... Okay, so we have a bee guard, Knight of the Flower Garden. So this is another pal. Of course, there are always going to be pals. So you may put any number of cards with the same card name as this card into your deck. So I think 5. I don't know how many cards you need for this to play the game. This is the first time I've ever actually gotten these cards, like pre-ordered them, and they finally arrived today, so that's why I'm doing this. And on deploy, get one, I think, toxic? I don't know what that symbol is, I'll have to look it up. If you have a farming structure, this card gets plus 500 attack until the end of turn. Okay, so it's a 400 strike of 1, so that's actually pretty cool. We have a Serpent Swift Swimmer, has no effect. Power of 700 and strike of 2, so pretty cool. We have a Malchris, Harbinger of Riches. So this is a subspecies. So subspecies or variants are different types compared to their original typing. So Malchris is an ice type, whereas regular Mal is a dark type. So when this card is assigned to a farming structure, draw one card. So that's what that does, apparently. 400, strike of 1. So we have the Primitive Furnace, which is a structure. Turn. Assign one power, get 3 wood, I think, and draw one card. Consume X wood, reduce the cost of playing your next gear from hand by X until the end of turn. It does not become 0 or less from this durability. So the durability is 800. The viewing cage is 1300. So there is that. Oh yeah, here's the back of the cards, by the way. That actually looks pretty cool. It's got the power sphere in the center, and the design of it that actually does look pretty nice. I think these are about the same size as Pokemon cards, so you can put them in like those sorts of sleeves. But here is the first gear item, Dick Hoyce's headband. So rest this card, choose one power, gets plus 200 attack until the end of turn. If its main name is Big Toys, get either 2 wood or 2 of the green whatevers. I don't know that. Oh, here's a favourite power of mine. This is Fox Sparks, Light of Courage. So Brave 300 on attack. This card gets plus 300 until the end of turn. So it's a 200 and strike of 1. So that's actually pretty cool. And the last item or card is a Meat Cleaver. Ooh, okay. So rest this card, butcher 1 power, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, choose 1 card from among them and add it to your hand and put the remaining cards into the graveyard. So the Meat Cleaver is essentially just like the only way you can essentially get rid of your powers if you do not have other means. So yeah, that's the Meat Cleaver. So next pack, I did not mean to not open that off camera. Apparently you could pull God packs from here, so who knows, there's a chance I could pull one, who knows, I don't know the chances of pulling a God pack. But anyways, moving on. Daydream, First Slumber. This is essentially one of the first nocturnal nighttime powers you can find in the game. So nocturnal, if it is night, this card gets plus 300. So that's actually pretty cool. I do like Daydream. Daydream is a very nice power. So yeah. Okay, so this is Lavender, Heart Stealer. They created a power called Lavender. Its number is 69. And it likes to, do certain things. So, yeah, it likes to have sex. That's what it does. It likes to fuck. This channel is not for the younger audience, so that is why I'm saying that. This thing likes to fuck a lot. Pals and humans, it does not care. But anyways, on attack, you may discard 1 card from hand, and if you discard it this way, gain 1 life. So, this was a neutral pal in early access, but they decided to change it to a dark pal instead. But, yeah. Stone Pickaxe. Rest this card, choose 1 pal, it gets plus 200 until end of turn, and you get 1 wood, 1 resource. I really need to know what all of this stuff does. I need to look it up. But, yeah. So, Stone Pickaxe. The Mud Mellow Bounty. So, this is a, one of the derpiest pals to exist. On deploy, get 2 of that stuff. When this card is assigned to a farming structure, increase your soul by 1 card for the rest in the rest state. Soul. Oh yeah. 200 power and 1 strike for Daydream. 800 power and 2 strike for Lavender. So this is 500 power, 2 strike. So yeah. So we have another lucky power. That's my 3rd lucky power. So no, 4th because of the 3 in the first pack. So Wumbo, Frost Peak Sentinel. So if this card is in the rest state, all of your opponent's powers get -1 of strike, I think. Yeah, that's -1 strike. So 1500 power, 3 strike. So that's actually pretty cool. Ooh, that's super rare. Hey, that's actually pretty cool. We get the Breeding Farm. So consume 2 of that. Reveal the top card of your deck. Add it to the hand if it is a 8 or less PAL. Okay, otherwise put it in the graveyard. Consume 2 of that and then assign 2 PALs. Choose 1 PAL 8 or less. Choose 1 8 or less PAL from your hand and deploy it. So that's pretty cool. That's my first super rare of the set. And we have, ooh, okay. Lylene Noct. Ooh, I love this one. Yes, I wish it was like one of the full art ones, but I'm happy with this. Lylene Noct is one of my favorite subspecies pals in the game. I do see the Lylene and Lylene Noct as the Gardevoir of Palworld, and I love Gardevoir, so it makes a lot of sense. So, Lylene Noct, Providence of the Goddess. So, yeah, that looks pretty nice. Press this card, discard one card for your hand, choose 1, 6 or less pal, so the numbers up here, so these numbers here, from your graveyard and deploy it in the rest state. Ooh, that is nice. I love this card. 1700 power and strike of 3. So that is really nice. I love Lylene and Lylene Noct, especially that one. So that is a top favorite right there. Next pack. So we have a Dire Howl, Proud Fang, so a neutral, normal pal. 500 power, strike of 1, so that's cool. We have a Farming Hat, so rest this card, choose 1 power, it gets plus 200 until the end of the turn, and you get one of the green things. I don't know what that is. I think it's a I think it's supposed to be like a resource. Ooh, an event. So treasure chest found. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 red structure or red gear from among them and add to hand. And shuffle the rest of the cards with the deck. If you chose 0 cards, get 3 of the resource things instead. So that's actually pretty cool. Now we get another event immediately after the adventure begins. So that's actually pretty nice. If you have not played any other cards during this game, draw 2 cards. Pretty decent. If you have 3 or more pals with my first in their different card names, choose all of your pals. They get plus 1000 power and plus 3 strike until the end of the turn. That is actually pretty decent. Huh, I like that. That's pretty cool. We have the feed box. So, consume 1. So, I really need to know what these symbols mean. I'll have to look it up afterwards. Increase your soul by 1 card in the rest state if there were 10 or more souls before increasing. Choose 2 souls and stand them. Okay, that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, the breeding farm's durability is 1100, and this one is 900. So that's pretty cool. The next pal is another super rare, and it is a, well, the next card is a super rare. It's a Relaxaurus, Heavy Hungry Gunner. So super rare. So the structure was a super rare in the last pack. Choose up to 1 6 or less pal and rest it. While this card is in the base, that card does not stand. So yeah, this guy's a lazy bastard. So yeah, 1200 power, 3 strike. Now there is one more card behind here, and we get a Lucky Bushi. That's actually pretty cool. Ephemeral Blade. So although at the end of the battle this card attacked, you may return this card to hand. So pretty cool. Interrupt. So this is a new one. Hand quick. Discard this card or discard this card and 1 other card from the hand. Nullify opponent's attack. Battle damage does not occur. So that's actually pretty cool. Power of 800 and strike of 2. Oh yeah. Power of 1200 and strike of 3. So that's what that one is. So we've got 2 more packs on the left side. So let's get into this. Right, So we have Wumpo Boat Hunt. So we had the regular Wumpo right here. So this is the regular Wumpo. Wumpo is an ice pal. Wumpo Boat Hunt is a grass pal. And during the release of the game, before all of the updates that has happened, this was the only boat hunt in the game. So yeah, Wumpo Boat Hunt, Tropical Sentinel. Interrupt, hand quick, discard this card or discard this card and one other card from hand, nullify the opponent's attack. So it's the same as Bushi essentially. So yeah. So power of 1200, strike of 3. That is pretty cool. We have Blaze Howl, Hellflame Defender. So I'm not going to read off the effects. It's the exact same as all of the other two. Same as Wumpo Boat Hunt, 12 and 3. So yeah, I wasn't gonna read off the effects. I was just gonna read off the name, and yeah. So we have the alarm bell. Assign 1 pal. Stand all pals assigned this turn until end of turn. Your pals cannot be assigned, and must attack as much as possible. Includes pals deployed after activating this ability. Okay. And its durability is 1100, so that's the alarm bell. And the next thing we have, let me just give me a moment. My foot is itchy. There we go. Foot was itchy. Itchy foot. We have Depresso, Late Night Hustler. So another dark power that can be found at night. Early on. Nocturnal, if it is night, gets plus 300. And it's the same thing. If this is a, I don't know if this is a mistake or if it's meant to be intentional. But it has 100 power, 100 strike, so who knows? We have Kitsun, Wormbane Fangs. Okay, that's an interesting one. Choose up to 1 7 or greater power, so these numbers here, what they represent. Deal 1200 damage. Damn, okay, this is like an instant win if you like go against a good power. Power of 400 and strike of 2, so that's that. Okay. We have an Alphadran, Gentle Radiance. Okay, so we have on attack, you may reveal 1 card from your hand, and if you revealed a Dragon pal this way, this card gets 500 attack until the end of turn. So these symbols, these tiny little symbols, are what represent their type. So this is a dragon, the Kitsun is a fire, the Bushi is a fire, and the Relaxaurus is a dual water and dragon pal. So yeah, they represent what their types are. So 600 power, strike of 2. So yeah. Ooh, this is the last card. We have a Warsec Iron Fortress with a new effect. Taunt. Your opponent cannot attack other targets if a card with Taunt can be targeted for attacks. So only this card can be used. So this is a ground and grass pal. So it has a power of 1500 and a strike of 3. So that's actually pretty cool. So now we're moving on to the last pack on the left side. Well, it's more like the right side, but like whatever. I should have opened it while on the screen, huh? Yeah. I'll finish it up. So we have Wooden Wall. So Taunt, your opponent can attack other cards. So yeah, don't need to worry about Taunt. When this card is put into the graveyard, draw 1 card. So durability of 300. So it's like the weakest structure you can get, I think. Okay, so we have a Black Marketeer. So this is one of the NPCs in the game. I like those little reference down the bottom here. Apparently hates hanging traps and campfires. So there's a exploit that people have done, where they would trap a Black Marketeer and build a campfire underneath them and reap the reward. So that's a very funny little reference right there. Anyways, choose up to 2 pals without interrupt from your graveyard and return to hand. It becomes night until the end of the opponent's next turn. So that's very interesting. We get an interesting little effect there, immediately making it become nighttime. So we have the Sphere Workbench. So this is what you use to create your spheres and whatnot. So assign 1 pal, draw 2 cards, choose 1 card from your hand, and discard it. So yeah, Mega, Giga, yeah. So those are the main 3 you could build, like you could do for that. Durability of 900, so pretty weak, but not that weak. Ooh, we have another lucky pal. This is Ragnarhawk Emberwing Striker. So on attack, choose all of your red pals. They get plus 500 power and 1 strike per, like, until end of turn. So yeah, so 1000 power, 2 strike. So yeah, that's actually pretty cool. There's a nice little pal right there. So we have Maraith, Twilight Messenger. So yeah, that is how it's pronounced, Maraith. While this card is in the rest state, it is night. Damn, that's good for your night decks, for your night pals. If it is night, all your opponent's pals get negative 200, so minus 200. It is not put into the graveyard, even if power becomes 0 or less. Okay. Power of 900 and strike of 2. That's pretty cool. Moving on, we have Pen King, Mighty Warrior of the Deep. All of your main name Pen Gullet pals get plus 700. So there are pals that have relations with other pals that look similar but are not. So these little guys here are Pen Gullets. This is a Pen King. So it is weird, but that's how it works. And the final card of this pack is the Antique Curtain. On deploy, choose up to X of your opponent's pals and return them to hand. X is equal to the number of different card names among your structures with Antique. Okay. In their card names. For example, if the current state has 4 Antique Mirror and Antique Curtain is deployed, return 2 cards. So they gotta have unique. Like, it's gotta be Antique Curtain, Antique Mirror, Antique whatever. And durability of 1400. So that is this side of the box done right here. So I'm going to just put those in there. And we'll move on to the next side. And I'm hoping to pull the double rare, I believe it is. I believe there's like 1 per box, maybe 2, I don't know. I didn't see one on the other side. I didn't see a double rare on this side, so there might only be 1. Okay, so we have a viewing cage. We already seen that one. We don't need to worry about that one. Cryo Links Arctic Ordeal. So another one, new one. Okay, so it's the same as all of the other powers. It's just interrupt and whatnot. So don't need to worry about that. 900 power, 2 strike. So there's that. Stone Pickaxe. Don't need to worry about that. So here is a new one. Van Worm, Marauder of the Skies. So choose up to 1 pal. It gets plus 300 until the end of turn. Is not put in the grave. Oh, yeah, it gets negative, not plus. It is not put in the graveyard even if it becomes 0 or less. So 600 power, strike of 2. So there is that. Ha! Thwack! So Thwack, Manic Wave Ripper. when this card is attacked, this card gets plus 300 until end of turn. So 200 power, strike 1. So it gains 300, so it becomes 500. So that's pretty cool. Ooh, Lily's strategy. Okay, so choose one of the following. Choose all of your powers. They get plus 1000 until the end of turn. Choose one structure or gear and put it into the graveyard. Increase your soul by 1 card in the rest state. So Lily here is a boss in the game that you have to defeat in order to progress. And she teams up with Lyoline. So, yeah. So that's essentially her pal, but she doesn't use a sphere. So, yeah. And there's, I believe, one more card here. Yes, there is. And it is a mounted machine gun. Consume X, I'm going to say resources or whatever. Assign 1 power. Perform, choose 1 power and deal 500 damage X times. So, yeah, so a mounted machine gun, 1000 durability. What is your rarity? Oh, you are a double rare. Okay, so these are double rares. Okay. I think what I need to do is pull like a really good one. So yeah, I'll just take all of these out. The other 5 out. I'll open them up and I'll just put them down and stack them. How about that? Make it easier. So we have 1. Oh, feeling a bit sniffly. 2. 3. 4. And the last pack. 5. Right, so that's all the packs there done. So I don't need to worry about just continuously opening them. We'll just open them and then get them out of the way. Move all the rubbish to the back. Give me a sec. Okay. Now let me just get more comfortable. Right, so moving on, we have Blessing of the Flower Spirit. So gain 1 life and draw 1 card. Okay, so the life, I'm not sure what the life system is, but I'll figure that out when I look up the rules and whatnot. So yeah. So we have another B-Guard, so don't need to worry about B-Guard. We have another Blaze Howl, don't need to worry about Blaze Howl. So we have a new card here, Shoddy Bed. Okay, so put the top 3 cards of the deck into the graveyard. It becomes night until the end of the opponent's next turn. At the end of your turn, if you have a Nocturnal Pal in the rest state, draw 1 card. So that's what that does, I think. Yeah. Durability of 700. Okay. We have a Grappling Gun. Okay, so this is a item that you can use to get further into the game. Like you just it's a mobility item essentially. Rest this card. Choose 1 power. It gets plus 200 power and a skill in this bit until the end of turn. So it gets vigilance. At the end of your turn, stamp this card. Okay, so that's what that does. Ooh, we have Axel's strategy. Okay. So choose one of the following. Choose 1 power and deal 1500 damage. So that's pretty cool. Choose up to X pals and stand them. X is equal to your number of gears. So this is a gear card. So this grappling hook, grappling gun. Choose all of your opponent's 5 or greater pals. They cannot block until the end of turn. I think I did see something back there. I'll find out when we get there. Patalia, Sweet Blessing. So, I'd also do like Patalia. Patalia is a nice pal as well. On deploy, gain 1 life, choose 2 souls, and stand them. I'm not sure what the souls are, though, but we'll figure that out when we get there. So, that's 700 for power, 2 for strike. Was there anything else in there? No, I don't think there was. Okay. Okay, we've seen Lavender. Ooh, found an egg. So this is a new one. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 pal from among them and add it to hand. Shuffle the rest of the card. And shuffle the rest of the cards with the deck. If you choose 0, you get 3 of the green stuff. I think. Yeah, I think that's what that is. Okay, so we got a new pal. T-Fan, Fountain of Cheer. Sirius 400 on a sign. Choose 1 power, gets plus 400 until end of turn. So power of 200, strike of 1. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, whoops. My iPad fell. Sorry about that. You saw a black screen there for a second. Didn't mean to do that. Did not mean to do that. Right, there we go. Moving on, we have Spark Kit, Hazardous Contact. So, an electric pal here. So, on deploy, choose up to 1 pal on the stand state, deal 500 damage. So, that's pretty cool. 400 power, strike of 1. We have a Hot Spring, so a new structure card. Choose up to 2 6 or less pals and rest them. Those cards do not stand during your opponent's next stand phase. So that's actually pretty cool. Has durability of 1000, so that's pretty cool. Ooh, we have Piranok, Steed of Azure Flames. So that looks pretty cool. Piranok is a very beautiful looking pal. I love it with the look of it. So, yeah, so Nocturnal, if it is night, gets plus 300, and Interrupt is the same as everything, so it just doesn't, it just nullifies the opponent's attack and everything. 1100 power, strike of 3, that's pretty cool. And we have, a Rushor, Reckless Destruction, so another interesting card. When this card attacks When this card attacks a structure, this card gets plus 800 until the end of turn. So power of 200, strike of 1. So that's pretty cool. It's a nice pal. Nox, the Silent One. So no effect. 500 power, strike of 1. So that's actually pretty cool. And we've seen Cryolinks. Ruby. Here's a new one. Brave Spark, Sirius 400. Choose 1 power, gets plus 400. Okay, so 200 power, strike of 1. We have the Flame Cauldron. Sorry about that. All of your red pals get plus 200, and when your red pal is deployed, get plus 1 wood, I think, yeah. I'll just say that, wood. And the ability of 900. This is a new Daydream. Yeah, that's a new Daydream. We had a Daydream in the right here. So here is the one that we just saw earlier, and this is the the new one. So the different one, Daydream Deep Slumber. So yeah, that's actually a different version of Daydream. So Nocturnal, if it's night, gets plus 300. So 400 power, strike of 1. And I think I revealed what the next power was going to be, but it is a Shadow Beak Seed of Despair. This is a lucky pal. So while this card is in the rest state, it is night. If it is night, your pals auto activates twice. Damn, okay, that's pretty cool. And at the end of your turn, choose up to one of your pals and butcher it. If you butchered one or more cards this way, your opponent chooses one of their pals and puts it into the graveyard. Okay, so pretty interesting. 1300 power, 3 strike. So, yeah, so that's pretty interesting how that works out. Okay, so we have a pump action shotgun. Yes, there are guns in the game. On deploy, choose all of your opponent's powers and deal 1200. Damn, that's good. Rest this card, choose one power and it gets plus 200 until end of turn. So the first one is actually pretty cool. So, yeah. So we got a Dire Howl. We don't need to see that one. We don't need to see Serpent. We don't need to see the Sphere Workbench. I talked about the one earlier. Oh, the ranch. This is new. Assign one pal, get either 3 wood or 3 whatever the green is, and draw 1 card. So, yeah, the ranch. Structure of durability of 800. So that's actually pretty cool. I think I saw something. Yeah. Ooh, another structure. So, Antique Dresser. Discard 1 card from hand, declare 1 card name, choose all of your cards, and if they get that declared name in addition until end of turn. Okay. Oh, box over slightly. Discard X cards from hand, choose X of your pals, they get plus 1000 or plus 1000 power or plus 1 strike until end of turn. So, durability of 1400, so that's actually pretty decent. And, ooh, we get Zoe's Strategy. This is a OSR. This is a, damn, okay. Not what I was looking for, but I will admit this is a pretty cool card. Zoe is the first boss, essentially, you face in the game. So choose one of the following. Choose up to 5 of your opponent's wood or whatever the green is in total, and your opponent loses them. Choose up to 1 power from your graveyard and return it to hand. Your opponent chooses 1 card from their hand and discards it. Choose one of your powers and butcher it. If you butchered 1 or more cards this way, choose one of your opponent's powers and put it into the graveyard. Okay, so that is an OSR. I don't know what OSR means. It doesn't appear to be anywhere on the back or whatever of the thing, but yeah, that's what that is, an OSR. So that's actually pretty cool. I wish it was the Lylene. It would have been awesome. But, well, that's actually pretty cool as well. I will admit, it's a very pretty card, and Zoe is a fan favorite. I mean, you can have her in your base. Yes, literally. But anyways, moving on, we have a lamp. So put the top 3 cards of the deck into the graveyard. It becomes night until the end of your opponent's next turn. All of your pals get the skill in the brackets. Nocturnal. If it is night, it gets plus 300 and durability of 13. So that's actually pretty cool. So, yeah. Okay, so here we have the first Slumber Daydream. Okay, so we have a new structure. So, no pals beyond sign. Okay. So, assign 1 pal. The pal assigned who this card gets the skill in the brackets until the end of your opponent's next turn. So, it's a taunt effect, so it just nullifies the attack. So, yeah. We have Accelerate, don't need to read the effect. Ooh, excuse. So new card, new pal. Gumos, Curious Sprout, or Gumos. I think it's Gumos. Yes, Gumos. This card gets plus 300 power and the skill until end turn. Assault, this card can attack powers in the stand state. Okay, interesting. Power of 600, strike of 2. So here's the main thing that you guys probably will need, or I will need if I ever try and get more cards. The Pal Sphere. Draw 3 cards. Simple, but effective. We have the Medieval Workbench, so this is a new one for these structures. So it's a 3, so assign 1 PAL, choose 1 cost X or less PAL from your graveyard and deploy it in the rest state. X is equal to the cost of the assigned PAL plus 2. Okay, so it's a 1300 durability. And I believe there's one more card, yes. I believe that this here will be the last card. And it is a Yormantide Surging Sea Serpent, so it's a lucky. So this is the last card of the box, meaning it's the last card of the video. So, on deploy, draw 1 card, choose up to 1 7 or less PAL and rest it. This card does not stand during your opponent's next stand phase. Okay. So, 1600 power and 3 strike. So, So apparently you only get 1 OSR. What is OSR? I have no idea. Because on the back here it says these are the rarity types, so it's double rare, rare, uncommon, and common. But I'm not sure about the OSR. That is a very interesting one, but that is, I believe, going to be it for this video. I know it's a bit long, but I had to read off the effects because this is a brand new set, brand new TCG card game entirely. They just released it literally like a few days ago, and people have already been getting some crazy pulls. People have been like scalping the freaking game. It's stupid, it's annoying, it's pathetic. I wish it never happens. Come on, guys, let us keep our hobbies and not have to spend like shit tons of money on you just because of it being a like really good thing to do. It's not. Scalping is not good. Do not do it. This is why I never sell my cards or whatever I buy. I don't do that. I'm not one of them. Please do not scalp. It's fucking stupid. Anyways, sorry about the little rant there. I just hate scalpers that much. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this opening of the brand new Palworld OCG, it's literally the OCG, official card game, Dawn of Palpagos, please leave a like. Comment if you've played Palworld and what your favourite pal or pals are. Would really be awesome to know. Subscribe to make sure you don't miss videos like this, and hopefully in the future more videos I can do. And I have seen that they are bringing out a new set in October. Hopefully I'll be able to get a box of that before they sell out. And I also hear that they're going to be reprinting this set, so that way more people can have the chance of getting it. I'm going to see if I can get more of this as well. Bleh. But yeah, anyways, again, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I shall see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.